Hey guys, you're watching my tutorial on how to fix the Nintendo 3DS or 3DS XL. When you squeeze it or open and close it, it switches off. Shout out to the Kekleon kid who's donated their lovely 3DS XL to me to fix this problem, and it's got a lovely Flareon on it there. So I'm going to go away, show you exactly what's happening with this console, and then I'm going to show you how to fix it, as usual. Catch you guys in a second. Right, so here we have our faulty 3DS XL, and if you just squeeze here, as you can see, it's completely switched off, and that's what we're going to go and sort out now. Right, so we have our 3DS XL here. We've taken off any cases and accessories that were stopping us from getting into the electronics of this, because we are going to open this up. Get rid of the stylus as well, that's just going to be in your way. So we're going to take this back off, and we need to get access to the battery. So we're going to be using these two screws here, and that is literally all that's on there. These two screws, and then there's two little catch areas there that you're just going to put your finger in and pop it open. So using the correct screwdriver, which is an M3, if you need to know more about what screwdriver I use, follow the link here. So anyway, just undo the two screws. It is important to use the correct screwdriver, otherwise you will just mess these up. So these are loose now. As I said, pop your finger in there, it's just come open. Same again on the other side, just in there, pops open. You can see the whole thing has started to open up now. So just using your fingernails, bit of gentle pressure, pulling it back towards you. Now the SD card flap is going to stay with the console, as you can see here, and you just carefully tease it off around the sides until it comes off, like voila. So you've got access to the battery now. Way to remove the battery is just here. You put your finger in and it just pops up like that. Make sure the console is turned off before you do this, because you might scramble your data. And all you're doing on this is checking the golden pins in here. These are the battery contacts. If they're all sticking out, then that's good. Next thing you need to do is taking a precision flathead screwdriver, which hasn't got any burrs or rough edges on. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Focus, my pretty. There we go. Right, so as you can see, it's a nice clean edge it's got on there. And you don't want anything too sharp or abrasive for this next step. So what you're going to do is these gold contacts on the battery, you're just going to take this and, using very light pressure, just move the screwdriver backwards and forwards. Now what you're aiming for here is literally to turn it from a sort of matte gold, like a dull gold colour, to a shiny gold colour. And seriously guys, you're not wanting to scratch the gold, because it's only thin and it's quite delicate anyway. So you know, you're not looking to gouge lines into it, you're just looking to take that matte sort of surface off. So don't use any pressure. I'm literally just allowing the weight of the screwdriver to do the work here. I'm literally just rubbing it on the surface. So as you can see, if it'll focus again, is we now have shiny surfaces on the battery, but you can see the comparison there. Yeah, okay, there we go. Right, so the comparison is, you can see how in the foreground here it's matte, and then you can see the shiny lines over this side, and that is literally all you're wanting to do. So once you've done that, put the battery back into your console. Take the back flap. I mean, make sure it's seated in properly as well. And there's 3 little lips that are on this. They go into these 3 recesses here. So just locate them in like so. And then run your fingers along, well, thumbs even, unless you're a freak of nature, and just have 5 fingers. And then using your M3 screwdriver, carefully put the tip into the screw and go anti-clockwise until you hear that click, and then carefully just screw it in. You don't need a lot of force, you don't need to tighten these up, just like literally just tighten them so they're just about nipping up. You don't want to force them because you will strip the threads, and then what that means is it will just keep turning around and around and around, and then you'll never be able to get the back off without drilling into it. So yeah, don't do that. So, moment of truth. It's turning on. Okay, so it's back on. Hello. And yeah, as you can see, we're now pressing this area and it works. Closing it, opening it. Yeah, see? So that's that fixed. So to finish up, I'm just going to say a little bit about why this actually happens and what causes it. So basically, it usually happens when you've dropped your 3DS or other Nintendo games console, because it does affect quite a few Nintendo handhelds. Now, basically what happens is 9 times out of 10 the battery physically becomes slightly dislodged. Other times it can actually be the casing of the 3DS is a little bit warped, so over time the battery sort of ends up, you know, with heat in your pocket or being in a warm house, it can actually become disconnected. Other things that can happen are little bits of debris can get in between the contacts, so you might actually find that there's like a tiny little piece of paper or a bit of fluff in there. Also, the pins, the golden pins, can get pushed back, or if it's kept in a fairly humid environment, the matte sort of gold surface that we cleaned off there with a screwdriver, that can actually be significantly worse. You know, it can be quite messed up with a lot of dirt and debris. So they're pretty much the main causes of what's going to cause your 3DS XL to just start randomly turning off like that. Things to look out for when you're doing this tutorial is obviously you are using a metal screwdriver to do this. It is the best tool to clean that. Don't use emery board or sandpaper or anything like that. Just gentle lightweight of a clean, non-rugged edge screwdriver will do what you need it to do. It's just the fact that it's a lithium battery that you're handling, so it's almost impossible to do, but just be careful that you don't bridge any of the contacts, because you will damage the battery and those things can set on fire if you mistreat them, so just be careful. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope your console is now working. If it is, tell me, that's great news. And thanks for watching again. Leave any comments you want in the bottom below, tell us your stories, you know, it's all interesting. Meanwhile, catch you guys later.